You might feel bad, you might feel depressed, sad, irritated, or angry, but all these feelings that you feel throughout your day, they all start from your head in a form of thoughts. And studies have shown that as human beings, we think from like 12,000 to 70,000 thoughts per day. And about 80% of our thoughts, they're negative. That's what I mean when I say the monster inside your brain. Negative thoughts. Actually, thoughts. But if you don't learn to deal with them the right way, they're gonna destroy you. They're gonna make you lose hope. And once you give those negative thoughts, like that monster inside your brain, a chance to control you, you're gonna see it in your reality because your interior affects your exterior. So how to win these negative thoughts and be free and channel your mind to a more positive thing? Awareness is your power. Before you start any mind reprogramming or before you start to change your attitude to a more positive one, you need to cultivate a great sense of awareness. Because if you study yourself, a lot of times when you're thinking negative, you don't even realize it. So you just participate in the thoughts and then you get drained because of it. But you don't even know what causes this feeling. So awareness is that witnessing the negative thoughts, witnessing that feeling. Sometimes these negative thoughts come in a form of like conversation. You think about something and then you start talking to yourself and then you reply to that thought and then again you reply to that reply. You see how am I going? Like our minds are just like that. So when you are aware, as I said, you're witnessing this conversation, you're witnessing these thoughts, you're just observing. You are not the thinker. So who are you? You are the observer. You think about something, you steadfastly become aware of it. And you start observing it, it's identifying yourself from it. So that's the first step, cultivating a great sense of awareness. But in order to do that, you need to practice. And the best practice, it is mindfulness. When was the last time you sat down just doing nothing, alone, in silence, just in a state of no mind? When I say no mind, I'm not talking about having like no thoughts or just your mind is just blank, but just you're not replying to those thoughts. Sitting in silence, resisting the temptation to do something or overstimulate yourself, that is a great practice to cultivate a great sense of awareness. But if you really want to control your mind, this is the most important practice that you need. You can call it meditation, prayer, or alone time, but just sit down and focus on one thing. Ideally, your breathing, or you can have mantras, or as a prayer, you can have some sentences, but just focus on these things, maybe your breathing, those sentences, and just when the thought comes, practice to let it go. Practice not to reply to your thoughts. Your thoughts are not you. The more you do this practice, the better you're gonna get to control your negative thoughts, because you're gonna be non-reactive. And if you are non-reactive, there's not gonna be this back and forth conversation with your thoughts, so you're gonna get more control over them. Alright, the next thing that you need to win over this monster inside your brain, accept it as it is. So you have learned to be aware, to be able to be the witness and just observe your thoughts, but sometimes these thoughts just don't go away like that, and you get yourself just engaging with them. So at that time, just accept them. You're thinking about this and then you're thinking about that and just you're worrying about your future. Your mind is jumping from thought to thought. So if you're resisting it, if you're thinking like, why am I thinking this way? Why am I worrying? If you're doing that, there is a great chance that it's gonna backfire, because the resistance is just another thought. But what if you just keep observing it, not resisting it? What if you accept the fact that it is just a thought, it's gonna pass, but till then, let it sit. I'm telling you, the more you practice being aware and not resisting your thoughts, you're gonna start feeling more and more peaceful. But when I say accept your thoughts, I'm not talking about accepting the content of your thoughts, but just accepting the fact that they're just thoughts, not the reflection of your reality. Alright, another practice that's gonna help you win over this monster inside your brain, have a routine. If you wake up and don't know how your day is gonna go, you're just in control of whatever that comes your way. So think about it. If you cannot even control your actions and what you do, how are you gonna control your mind and your thoughts? And research have even shown that people who live with routines, aka structuring their lives, they are more mentally healthy, they're more fulfilled, and they're less stressed. So if you have a daily routine and you exactly know what you're gonna do throughout your day, you're gonna have more control over your mind. You are organized, you know what to do, you have a goal. Your mind is hyper focused on that, and that's gonna help a lot. So if you have a daily routine, or after you have a daily routine, I want you to do something daily to deal with your negative thoughts. You're gonna add this to your routine. Daily reflection. You sit down alone, it is quiet, and just reflect on your day. Write some of your thoughts. Write lessons that you have to take. Write things to remember. By deeply reflecting on your day, one, you're not gonna leave thoughts that are gonna come and bother you on the following days. And two, you're gonna be proactive. You're gonna avoid things that you might do in the future that are gonna affect your mental health. So have a daily routine and live every day knowing what you're gonna do. And at the end of the day, each day, have a long time to reflect on your day. Alright, next up, go with the flow. This is a very interesting one. And yes, it is a little bit counterintuitive with the previous tip, having a routine and a structure and living intentionally. But you know what? You have to learn to be flexible. Don't be rigid. Learn to go with the flow of life. When you do that, even when you're feeling your worst, even when you are down bad, you're gonna relax and just let things be. And as I said in the beginning, resistance is just adding another thought, another worry, another friction in your life. So there's this great quote by a person called Jon Kabat-Zinn that goes, you cannot stop the waves, but you can learn to surf. That's what you should do with your mind. Just go with the flow. Don't try to resist or control, but just choose your destination. But the journey, don't try to control it. Flow. Alright, another strategy that you can use to better control your negative thoughts, change your interpretation. Simply just change how you view or translate some events in your life. Your interpretation to situations that you think they are negative. So something happens, you choose to focus on the negative part of it, and you identify it as your own thought or emotion, and you repeatedly think about it. That's how you form a strong emotion. This means for a negative emotion to happen, you must translate it in a negative way. And then you identify that as your own thoughts, which is completely not the case because you're not your thoughts, and then you repeatedly think about it, having this conversation inside your mind, and then you form from this negative emotion. So again, awareness is key. Be alert, be aware, guard your thoughts. Then simply change your interpretation. Focus on the positive side of it. And don't forget to flow with the process. Winning yourself is better than winning hundreds of battles. And don't forget, it is a slow, simple journey. Thanks for watching. Ciao.